As you all know, Apple had their event yesterday and they unveiled 5 new Apple devices. So the 5 devices were the iPad Pro, the iPad Mini 4, the iPhone 6s, the iPhone 6s Plus, and the Apple TV. So pretty much what I want to be talking about in this video is the gaming aspect of these devices. And if you're like, well, why are you using mobile devices for gaming? Well, why are you watching this video? That's a good point. So let me start off with the specs for the devices, starting with the iPad Pro since it was the first thing to be unveiled. So pretty much it has a 12.9 inch screen, that's about 32 centimeters. That's a really big iPad. The resolution has been increased, 2732 by 2048. That's actually higher than their MacBook lineup at the moment. The only thing that has a high resolution is their iMacs, I believe. Some people think that the increased resolution would reduce gaming performance. Actually, it probably won't. First off, because it has a new chip in the device, the A9X, which is supposed to be 1.8 times faster than the iPad Air 2, which is insane. And also, games tend to not run on native resolution. Like I believe it. Like games like Modern Combat 5 run at 720p on all devices. I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, someone please do correct me. Actually, I like lower end devices. I know it doesn't run at that resolution, but the higher end ones, they do. They also increased the RAM capacity of the iPad Pro, so it's up to 4 GB of RAM, up from 2. Pretty much it won't have too much of an effect on gaming performance since most developers are optimizing for 1 GB at the moment, but it may in the future, so hopefully we'll see. Next thing, the iPad Mini 4. Pretty much it's just a shrunk down iPad Air 2. A8X chip inside. I don't know if it's clocked down or anything since Apple didn't release any like specific specs, but yeah, it's a mini iPad Air 2. One of the next devices Apple announced was the iPhone 6s. I'm so hyped for this because I'm actually getting the device when it's released since I currently have a 5s. Pretty much it has an A9 chip, not A9X because X is for the iPad. Pretty much it's supposed to be 70% faster. The CPU is supposed to be 70% faster than the previous iPhone 6, and the GPU is supposed to be 90% faster, which is it's a pretty good improvement. Like the improvement from the A7 to the A8 was about 40%. So they were able to increase the numbers this much from a pretty strong device. That's pretty good. They also have Force Touch with the iPhone 6s. That's going to be really nice for game developers. They had a demo of Warhammer. They were showing how Force Touch could be used to like zoom in on objects and stuff. I really want to see the possibilities of this new feature. Sadly, it will only be for newer devices because older devices don't have Force Touch. But once the 6s starts getting a bit older and they come out with new devices, it might be mainstream for games to have Force Touch. And the one thing a lot of people were wondering, does it have 2 GB of RAM? Yes, Apple finally added another gigabyte of RAM to the iPhone, so now it has 2 GB of RAM. Thank you, Apple. Thank you. Finally. God dang it. The last device Apple unveiled was the Apple TV. As Apple said, apps are the future of TV. So pretty much it's rocking an A8 processor with 2 GB of RAM. So pretty much it's like the iPhone 6 performance. That's still pretty good. It was running a few games, like they had a demo of Asphalt 8, and very interestingly, I saw Afterpulse on the TV App Store. So that'll be kind of cool to see what developers do, what kind of apps they bring to the TV. If you don't really like mobile gaming with touchscreens, you could actually buy MiFi controllers, so made for iPhone, but it's pretty much not an iPhone, it's a TV, but it's a mini console. It's a mini Apple console. And depending on developers and if they actually do like the TV and they do like supporting it, they may make some really nice apps for the television. Don't expect to like be playing console quality games, but yeah, you could still play some pretty decent games on your TV. And the price is actually somewhat low depending on what your budget is. It's about $150, I believe, for the Apple TV. So yes, pretty much that is it for the video. nothing else to say for now. If you guys have any questions about the devices, and if you're wondering where I got these specs from or anything, feel free to ask down below. I will provide any information I possibly can to you. Anyways, that is all for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And this is Hax, and I'm out. Peace.